All right, welcome to episode 22 of Reality Rundown. I'm your host, Connor Nelson, along with my co-host, Christian Holman. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good until we started, and now I'm having hair issues. So,
I'm ready to go. Let's do this thing. Let's do it early, and then this is how you start.
As soon as you said it, my hair fell, and I just had a side part, and it just looked real crappy. So,
if you guys are watching on YouTube and you like the podcast, please leave a like. If you have any recommendations for us, leave them in the comments, and please subscribe. It'll show up on your feed, and it'll let you know when we post on YouTube, so you can be up to date. If you want to watch us record these live, we go live at twitch.tv/reality rundown after every single episode. And yeah, that's it. Tonight's episode, eviction, and we get the twist. It was all right. I mean, we're starting to get some heat. I know I've been saying this, like it's starting to really get going, but it's just been a slow, I don't know. It's been tough.
You described it perfectly. It's been a slow.
It's just been
It's
slow.
been a
slow.
very slow, which hopefully we get it next week. Commission turns on each other. Again, we've been saying this for weeks. It's happening next week. Over the last 5 weeks, it's going to happen next week.
Unfortunately, we don't know yet who wins HOH, which kind of it sucks.
Which
but
they haven't played it yet, though. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't know. So let's just hope at least if it's someone in the committee, they take a shot at someone in the committee, and it's not just let's go for Kevin. But let's be honest, probably just gonna be Kevin.
I think we're going to see committee attack. I really do. I think we're at the point where we have 3 people who aren't in the committee, one of which who is aligned with everyone, 2 of which who are great pawns, and David's actually he's kind of getting in better spots here recently. So
he's just getting dragged along. He's like Kevin in a sense, but not Kevin as he's not the pawn, because Kevin was early on definitely going to be the pawn. So he's just kind of that guy that they're just going to drag to the end because he hasn't done anything. He's not winning anything. You're good with him because what's he going to do? It's not like he's winning comps to put you up.
Kevin is a final 3. He is made to go to the final 3. And potentially drugged to the final 2.
It's one of those things. It's like Josh. It's like he's going to get drugged and then somehow end up winning, and it's going to be just like this is all for nothing.
Yeah. I am going to say I am starting to like Dave a little more and more every single week. I'm starting to like David more.
Dave now. We're going by Dave.
I'm a Dave fan. Big fan of Dave.
You're on that kind of level with David where you can just call him
Dave. As I've gotten to know him better, I feel like he could call me Chris maybe, and I could call him Dave.
I don't know.
No one else could call me Chris, but we're great. We're good friends now. So.
All right. Well, this episode it starts with Tyler talking about again how Nicole and Danny have definitely shown their cards with Davon, and they're definitely trying to use Davon to go after Tyler and Cody and that side, and it's very clear at this point. So Davon's got to go this week.
Yeah, Davon's in a much better position than Kevin in terms of number-wise in the house, and she's definitely going to take shots. Kevin, of course, Chris will take shots. No, you won't call me that. But she'll definitely take shots. While Kevin, I think he has to take a shot at someone if he wins. But I don't. Yeah, Davon's just she's in an alliance, while Kevin's not. Kevin's a solo man.
Kevin, yeah, it's kind of just he's really in the same position as David, but he really has no one. But the problem with Kevin is he's been shown that he can be thrown up there and he's safe to not go home, and they can use him as a pawn. Whereas David's just kind of there. He doesn't really add anything. He doesn't do anything. So they're in kind of different spots, but really kind of in the same spot. Either way, Memphis, it shows him, and he agrees with this. He's like, they showed their cards. Davon, it's just, I know I wanted to get David out this week, but it's okay if Davon goes, because clearly that they're working that angle, and we've got to be for the alliance. He's all about the alliance.
Yeah, and I think we're actually going to see a fair chance that David and Memphis work together, actually work together.
I don't think so, but it could happen, but I don't think it's likely.
All the cards are starting to line up, especially if he talked to David as well after Christmas and they didn't show it. Yeah. With a similar conversation, because they made their agreement and then he didn't put him on the block. They are now actively targeting Nicole and Danny. So there's a decent chance that we might end up seeing a Memphis-David power duo.
I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be like where they were just definitely at each other's throats, and then they start working. I mean, it'd be cool to see, but I don't see it happening. But either way, Davon is talking to Kevin, and she's just like, I'm losing it in here. My past season, I've been just an open book. I'm all about just saying what I believe, what I think. And this season, I've kind of just like kept that in and kept to myself and not gave anything. And it's just like it's eating her alive. And she's like, I think I'm ready just to be out of here.
Yeah, which, I mean, I don't know if she's really not said things. I mean, I think she has.
That's the thing is she doesn't think she said a lot and she's kept it to herself. But what she does understand is she is given too much still. Like, she may have not given as much as the previous season that she's been on, but she's still given too much to where it's basically killed her game.
Yeah, and what you see from everyone else is most people aren't giving anything this season. So, like, we're not seeing any people. People aren't talking about gameplay at all. They're obviously an alliance, so there's not really much deciding to do.
The alliances that were created the first week have been that those alliances have stuck, and they've not branched off. They've not talked to game to other people. It's just been that group and that group only. And then the outsiders are kind of just grabbing on wherever they can and getting picked off because that's just the way this
part of it.
Gone.
That's the way it goes.
Few years. So either way, Kevin is like, I don't think the vote last week was what you think it is. I think David really voted our way, and Nicole was the one to flip, and Davon's like, I just don't think she would do that to me again. I just don't think she would stab me in the back. I just really think it was David and not Nicole. And she's like, I'll ask her if you want me to ask her again, but I just really don't think she did. And about this time, Nicole walks through, and she's like, I was going to go grab you, and takes her into the room, and you
and Kevin's even saying to her, I don't think you should, because she's not going to give
lie.
you
Yeah.
Yeah.
What makes you think that all of a sudden she's going to be like, yep, it was me?
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense. Which, I mean, I guess Nicole was kind of close to telling her, actually, though. But still, like, at this point, you got to keep the lie going.
Yeah. So she goes in there and she's like, I don't get mad at me for asking this, but I just got to know, and I've got to ask one more time. Do you swear that you voted Tyler out of this game? And she's like, I voted how you told me to vote. And they kind of talk for a minute. She leaves, and Nicole's like, this is the worst. Like, I've got to tell her at some point, but this is just, I got to find out at the right time. And honestly, like, again, at this point, she can't just straight up tell her, but she's right in, she needs to tell her before she finds out from someone else, or she leaves the house and finds out through jury. Like, she just needs to be honest and be like, sorry, like, I had to do this for my game. I couldn't expose myself like this. And just make it seem like it was purely game, not personal at all, and smooth it over before she goes to the jury house. Because if she goes to the jury house, like, not knowing this and then finding out, it's going to get real bad for Nicole, I think.
Yeah, this is something that Davon struggles with, this seeing the difference in game and personal. So
yeah,
that's kind of a tough thing to do with Davon.
Yeah. Danny talks to Davon, and she's like, I want you to stay. And she's just like, I'm sorry, like, this sucks, but I'm pulling for you. I'm going to try to get the votes. And that was really about it there. Kevin goes up and talks to Memphis, and he's like, I don't know if I have the votes. And again, like, Kevin is always the guy when he's on the block, this season at least, where every single time he's 100% safe, but he thinks he's the target. And he overplays it when if it was the opposite way, or it could go either way, he would be shooting himself in the foot the way he goes about things.
Say that again? I may have been focusing on something else.
I'm not going to say it again, but either way, he goes and talks to Memphis, and he's like, will you work on Christmas's vote for me? Like, if you get Christmas, I think I got the votes. And Memphis is like, you just need to relax. Like, I think you're staying this week. I don't think you're gonna have any problems. Davon, especially after that speech, I think she's going home. Like, I don't think you have anything to worry about. And this is the first time Kevin, at least this week, is like, okay, I think that I'm good now. Like, that's the first time this week that I felt like I'm safe, when in reality, all week, he has not even been close to being the target. So.
Yeah, it's really nice to see Kevin not feeling so stressed. We haven't got any of the Kevin pouty face at all this week. And it's nice because he's getting used to being on the block, and we're getting to finally see who the real Kevin is, who's not the pouty version.
The real Kevin.
The real Kevin is standing up.
I went out of order, so I'm a little lost. Hang on.
It's okay.
This
is when
order. Yeah, I got it flipped, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at this point.
We can start at the end.
Memphis. This is when we get the Memphis says that winning HOH this week was important for him, so he could get his in game in check and get ready to go. And this is his plan. This is his big master plan of how he's going to win the game and get to Final 2. He goes to Enzo and he's like, listen, this is what I've been thinking, and I think it's going to work perfect. Me and you are going to the Final 2, but we need to get some, people to get to the Final 3, Final 4. So how about we get 2 people, have 2 separate Finals 3s, but we name it the same thing. And Enzo, he's just like, yeah, sure, Alliance, yeah, yo, let's do it, yo.
Yo.
And
meow likes alliances, yo.
So then it cuts to Memphis talking to Cody, and he's basically giving Cody the same spill. Like, me and you, Final 2, we're making it till the end, but we need to reel someone in to get to the Final 3 and get a Final 3 going, and I think that guy should be Enzo. And Cody's like, yeah, shoot ya. Like, he's already in a Final 2 with Enzo, so why wouldn't he be? Like, he's 100% on board with this. So he's like, all right. So he brings Enzo in, and he's like, all right, this is it. Us 3, we're Final 3. And he calls themselves the Wise Guys. And immediately Enzo and Cody are all about it.
Yeah, which it's funny because with Memphis pulling Christmas in, I thought it was going to be Cody, Enzo, and then Tyler Enzo. I didn't think it was going to be Christmas Enzo, especially when I heard the name Wise Guys. Because the first thing Christmas says is,
I'm not a guy.
I'm not a guy.
Yeah.
So like, maybe choose a name that includes the people in your alliance.
Yeah, so speaking of that, he pulls in Christmas, and he gives her literally the same, and this all happened within, like, literally probably 5 minutes. Like, he pulls Cody in, he pulls Enzo in, kicks both of them out, pulls Christmas in, like, immediately after, and was like, me and you, we got to work this thing out to where we make it to the Final 2. And I think we need to reel Enzo in and make a Final 3. And she's like, sure. Well, yeah, sounds great. And pulls Enzo in again and is like, hey, this is it. Us 3, the Wise Guys. And they do the same thing. They're like, yeah, all right, perfect.
I was really hoping to see Enzo jump up out of his seat and like smack Memphis's hand the exact same way in the Christmas talk as he did in the Cody talk. It would have been so funny.
But literally as soon as he's like the Wise Guys and like they celebrate a little bit, he's like, Christmas, get out. I gotta talk to Enzo. And just says like literally just like points to the door,
yeah.
Like, get out. Christmas gets
get
up
out.
and leaves, and then he's just in there talking to Enzo like, that perfect. This is it. And then Enzo leaves and he's like, that was just way too easy. Which again, he did all of this within 5 minutes. Like no exaggeration. So
yeah, and
go ahead.
I don't feel like it's really hard to make an alliance.
No, nobody's gonna say no. Like
exactly.
And so Christmas, even in the DR, was like, I'm completely loyal to Tyler. Like Tyler's my number 1. But if something happens and Tyler goes home, I gotta have some backup plans. Which she's right.
That
like
is gonna be her actual backup, I believe.
100%.
Because she's very loyal to who she's working with. So
yeah. Which it's smart on her. And as much as I hate Christmas, she's playing really a great game.
I definitely agree. She's a pretty good player.
I just don't like her. Let's see, where are we at? So much, like, there's like a huge gap. Danny and Christmas talk about the vote. And this is when Christmas is like, Davon, Danny, and Nicole are really tight, and this just proves it because they're like, what? Like Danny's like, what do you think? And Christmas is like, I don't really care either way. Like, who cares really? Like, I don't really have any loyalties to either. And Danny is pushing super hard for Davon to stay.
Yeah, which
stupid.
I mean, it's so dumb. It's like dude, you have literally this entire week and even last week shown a lot of loyalty to Davon
for no reason. Like you,
yeah. And if you don't think that's gonna get back at you. Whenever you're in an alliance of 6 and there's only 8 people left in the house, or 9 people left in the house, it's just like, dude, pay attention.
Yeah.
Notice what's going on around you.
It's definitely showing their cards, and it's not going to end well for them, I don't think. But as soon as this is over, Christmas is like, yeah, like they're clearly got something going on, and we've got to split that up. So she's definitely on board with getting Davon out this week, which again, it's the right play because they're definitely lined up to make Davon be the one to take the shot at their alliance, and it's very clear.
Yeah, definitely. Like very, very obvious that that's what they want. Which it's the same thing that Christmas is about to go do with David.
Yeah. So this conversation ends. She goes straight to Memphis, and she's like, listen, I would just talk to Danny about the vote. She is definitely pushing hard for Davon to stay. So that just further like shows what they're doing, and that they're like bringing Davon in to go after us. And Memphis is like, yeah, you're right. And she's like, but I think we can use this as an opportunity to reel David in and use David. And Memphis is like, if you think you can do it, go right ahead. And this is where, like, I kind of agree with you, where I can see Memphis not fully working with David, but at least keep him close enough to where he's not going to put him on the block or go after him until a certain point.
Yeah, which, I mean, it would be so good to see that turn into a budding alliance and Memphis, David, final two.
Yeah. And she tells Memphis that her plan is to make a deal with David where they keep him safe till final 8, as long as he doesn't go after them and goes after Nicole and Danny. Which, if I were David, and she goes about this to David the right way, but if I were David and this is what someone brought to me, like, I will keep you safe for 2 weeks as long as you go after the people I want you to go after. This is such a, like, it's so stupid. Of course you have to agree, but for you to be like, I'm fully on board with this person is just, wow, like, it doesn't make sense. Like, this is not a good deal for him.
The way she worded it was actually pretty good.
But that's what I'm saying. The way she went about it.
It wasn't that she was like, I'll cover, you're good for the next 2 weeks, we just go after them. It was, once we get rid of them, then we'll keep working.
Then we see what happens. Yeah. So,
which was a very good way to word that.
But the thing that she did best with, so she goes and talks to David, and she starts by just like, hey, I want to talk to you about some things, and I've got some information that I think can help you. And she's like, I know how you voted, and I know you voted Tyler out of here.
And this is because Danny just told her.
Yeah, and I think that her telling him that was what really made him be like, I want to believe her and I want to work with her, because she's the first person that has really been like, I believe you and I think you're right here, and they shouldn't have like put this on you. So like that's really the main thing that's like, dang, like I love Christmas now.
Yeah.
So that's where I think she went right in this, because after this,
by the
anything
way,
that she
someone
says,
needs to clip that. Someone needs to clip Connor saying that.
Either way, I think this is where she went right, because I think anything that she says after this, David's just gonna be like on board with, because he feels like he has no one at this point. So if one person goes up to him and be like, hey man, I know that you didn't vote that way, and I know that you were right here, he's gonna be like, perfect, I'm fully on board with you, let's go, let's ride this thing.
Yeah, he's definitely in it, I think, with Christmas.
Yeah, so perfect, Christmas has got David now. Who knows what that's gonna happen, and I'm interested to see if Christmas can like bridge that gap of Tyler and David that's been strained by the Bailey thing, because David really is not feeling Tyler at all.
No, I don't think that we're going to see Tyler and David work together again this season. I think that's kind of done.
Yeah. Either way, we get to the eviction, and Davon's speech was first, and it's very long, and once we get to Kevin's, this is where it's like, why does one get long and one get short? But she just talks about how she wants to be the first black woman to win, and how there's been a lot of great black women play, and Tamar about how she won, and how she just wants to continue to play and be the face for her community. And then it's literally probably like, what do you think? 4 minutes? 3 minutes?
I'd say
maybe
3.5.
longer.
Probably got 3.5 to 4 minutes. Yeah.
When normally they're like 60 seconds in, they're like, you got to wrap this up. Like, come on. So as soon as she sits down and it's Kevin's turn, Julie's like, make this quick. We're on live TV. Which if you're going to let one person go, which I get, you can't cut her off at that point. You can, but like you're going to seem like whatever. But you can't let one go that long and then be like, Kevin, you only have 30 seconds. Make it quick. Like, if you're going to let one go, you got to let the other go.
Yeah, it's a little... I don't like the way that they wait to the very end to do the stuff like that because it does cut off things. And they're going to do it on finale night too with the eviction vote or the final votes, like the winner speeches. They're going to be like, you have 60 seconds to make your case. It's like,
which again,
no.
they should go back to the original way they did it, where they do this off camera and previous, like not even the day of, where they sit down and the jury asks them questions and they get that as long as amount of time they need, not 5 minutes on finale night.
Yeah, I would love for finale night not to be live. Do it similar to like the way Survivor does.
It can be live. Just don't have everything they have to talk. They don't have to explain their game. They can just show like highlights.
Well, what I mean is like the final eviction. Final eviction probably doesn't need to be live. You know, or yeah, like where the person who wins the final HOH sends someone home. No, go ahead and send them home a day early, and then let everyone formulate their questions, ask their questions, get all that stuff out there.
I just feel like the last episode should focus solely on just the last two pitching why they should win, not the whole episode. Basically, like Thursday night episodes go where it's like the whole episode, and then you get to see that last 5 minute block is who wins HOH. It's just I don't think that's how they should do it. But
no, I want to see it like a Survivor where we really hear people make their case and be like, hey, I deserve to win, and here's why. And you have 5 minutes to talk if you need 5 minutes to talk.
Yeah. I think, honestly, everybody feels that way, but it's just I don't know why they won't go back to that. It doesn't make really any sense whatsoever because the way it is now, it's not good.
It's so rushed, and it just feels like people don't get to make
or make it like
choice.
Don't make the finale 1 hour, make the finale 2 hours. Like do something to where there's a longer block of time to where they have more time to. I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. I think the solution is to go back to the way they used to do it, but I don't know. Either way, the votes are Tyler votes Davon, Enzo votes Davon, Nicole votes Kevin, which I think Nicole does this thinking that she's going to get some like good graces back with Davon, which Davon's not going to care about a pity vote like at this point. David votes Davon, Cody votes Davon, Danny votes Kevin. Yeah, Danny votes Kevin, which again, Davon's not going to care about these. Like, she's not going to look back and be like, oh, they voted for me to stay. Great. Like, it's not going to matter.
Yeah. Which Danny at least probably, it might be beneficial for Danny, while Nicole probably not, especially after she told her in her goodbye message, which maybe it will still work out for her. But and also people who voted against her, as she even said in her eviction speech, she's like, if you told me before eviction tonight what was going to happen, if you're voting for me or not, whatever the outcome may be, then you're good with me. But if you told me I don't know or you lied to me, then you're dead to me. Yeah. And I'm going to remember that in jury.
Yeah. Like I said, I would love for Nicole to go to jury next week and just see a complete blow up. It would be so good, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Christmas votes Davon, so a vote of 5-2. Davon gets evicted, which I saw. I mean, I think everybody saw that coming. Davon was going home. I think Kevin, again, the ultimate pawn, was staying in the house. So as soon as she's evicted, she stands up. She's hugging everybody, saying bye. Nicole hugs her, knocks her earring out, and almost rips her wig off. So, like, again, perfect. Like, Nicole, it seems like their relationship, like, is that right there. Like,
chaotic.
They try to like each other, and it just goes bad.
Yeah, it's hilarious. That's a good visual of that.
Yeah, it was good. It was funny. So then Davon talks to Julie, and she's just like, I was ready to get out of there. I couldn't be this fake any longer. Like, it was just eating away at me. I'm just ready to go to the jury house and just relax. And she said that she thinks the reason that she left over Kevin was because Kevin can be puppeted, he can be used, and they know that they know that Davon can't be used, and she can't be manipulated into doing what other people want her to do. Which, she's kind of right on that. Like, Kevin can be used, I think, and someone can pull Kevin in way easier than they can pull Davon in.
Yeah, Kevin will do what he has to do to get to survive a week.
Which going back to that, it's like Davon was like, I'm not gonna quit. I'm gonna fight this week. And then literally the next segment, she's like, I am not going to campaign to these people. I'm just going to hang back. If it happens and I go home, I go home. So, like, she completely contradicted herself with, like, I'm going to fight this week. I'm not going home to if I go, I go.
Yeah. I don't know. Dave Owens had a tough week. She had a real tough week.
True.
Dealing with going home.
Goodbye messages. Kevin's was just like, I love playing with you. You made this all worth it. Tyler tells her about the alliance that he's in with everybody. Says who's in the alliance. David was just like, we had our ups and downs in this house, but I wouldn't be this far without you. And then Nicole tells her about the alliance and how she had to lie about the vote. So
yeah,
we'll see if that
Dave wasn't happy about it, which she said. But she's like, I understand, but it's also a personal level where
that's
it's like,
the thing,
come on,
too. Man. It's like, that's what she said. She's like, I get it. It's a game move. You got to do what you got to do for yourself and your alliance. But where I don't appreciate it, it's where I ask her on a personal level and she still lies. But it's like, she will tell you after the game that she did this, but like, she can't blow up her game until you're out. Like, it's just, that's the thing. That's why she can't tell you at this point, which I don't see how people don't see that. I guess if I were in the game, maybe I wouldn't see it that way, but I just don't understand that argument.
No, the thing is, some people think some things are bigger than the game, but that's the thing. Like, not everyone sees it the exact same way, so.
No, 100%. Either way, we get to a commercial break, and right before it, they're like, coming up, we will see the new twist. A Big Brother legend is moving into the neighborhood, or being their neighbor, and it cuts back to it, and Julie tells everybody to get to the living room that there's a special announcement, and I think they all thought it was a double. Like, they're like, crap, here we go, this is a double eviction. Someone's going home, but she says someone has moved into to your neighbor's house, pops up on the screen, and Dr. Will Kirby, Season 2 winner, comes out, which I was stunned, kind of, just because I didn't think he would do something like this. Like, I think he's more of, I will do the jury thing, and that's about all you're going to get out of me.
I wasn't super surprised by it, honestly. He also looked just like Jack Frost from Santa Claus 3.
Yes.
Identical. Yep. And it was hilarious.
I wish I could pull up a picture right now, but I don't want to mess anything up. I don't really know how to do that, so I'm not going to, but it really did.
Yeah, I wish it was literally winter right now, or it was just winter where he was standing. Because it would have served it so perfectly.
Yeah. So he comes out, and truthfully, like, he probably is one or two best to ever play. I think Dan is. Some people think he is. People go either way with it. What do you think?
A lot of people have predicted that I will be, but I don't really know. Maybe you got Dan, Derek, Dr. Will, the triple Ds. So
you don't have an opinion either way? You just think just any of those three are the best?
I mean, Paul is super good. I mean, it's just, you can't really compare. You can compare individual things, but to say one's better than the other, they all did some really crazy things, especially for their time.
You're this guy.
All right, fine. David, my man Dave might be the best player of all time.
So he comes out and he announces that the next HOH and the next veto are going to be, you can either go for the power, or you can go for prizes. And so, really not a huge twist. Like, I mean, well, I guess we'll see what the things are, but I just feel like this is just one of those things. It's like, it's just going to be a comp that you can get prizes in.
Well, so I wasn't 100% listening to what he said because I was very distracted by the Santa Claus 3, Santa Claus 2 references that I could think or I could see. But if you're playing for power, or you can choose power or prizes, there could be additional powers inside of not winning the comps.
Maybe that's what I'm saying. Like, there might be more to it, and we'll see later on. But if that's it, like, if it's just like you either can go for the HOH or you can get $5,000, it's just like, whoa.
Yeah. Then this was just like a weird like grab at playing off his fame, being like, ooh, Dr. Will's here.
He also said that he will be popping in, like, he's not leaving. Like, this is going to be the only time we see him. So there might be something to do with that, too. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. They didn't really give us much. I think they had like 60 seconds from when they came back from commercial break.
Maybe he plays until the jury battle back and has a shot.
Also, and then at the very end,
possibility.
they say Sunday we will see who wins HOH.
Crazy.
Wednesday, OTEV comes back. Thursday, we have a 2-hour episode, and it's a triple eviction, which I don't think has ever happened.
Never happened. That's
Okay.
insane.
So-
a triple eviction is going to be so chaotic.
It's going to be madness. But with that happening, that will leave 6 people in with 4 weeks to go. So the math doesn't add up for the way they normally do the end game. Like
But
it does. The
six
time,
people with
6 people
six
with 4
people
weeks
with
to
4
go.
weeks.
It
That
doesn't
adds
add
up.
up. No, it doesn't.
Are you sure they're gonna be all 4 weeks?
Yep. It doesn't. It doesn't add up.
Hmm.
It doesn't. Just know it doesn't add up. And so with that not adding up, that makes me think that someone's going to come back in possibly, but I really don't think it's going to. I don't know. It's weird because I don't know if it's going to be like one of those 3 are going to come back because they've already told the previous 2, Ian and Dave on, stuff about alliances. So I don't think they can come back in. But maybe with the
no.
triple,
They didn't tell.
No, they
don't.
did.
Producers don't tell them about anything like that.
They showed it in the goodbye messages.
Yeah, goodbye messages. Goodbye messages
But
are
I still don't think they would show that.
Yeah, people still get goodbye messages whenever they have battle backs.
Yeah, but it's never like game information, is it?
Yeah.
I don't think they've ever shown game information and they come back in.
No, they definitely have because it's still part of it. Giving your goodbye messages are still part of the game.
Yeah, with jury, but like I still don't think that they've ever. I'd have to go back and see, and that would just take a lot of time. But I don't think they've ever like gave alliance information and stuff like that, and then someone come back in. I could be wrong, but
yeah, I'm 99.3% positive.
I would not go
that
that
they
high.
have.
I would not go that high.
I'll go even higher, 99.5.
I would not go that high.
All right, test me. I'll go 99.8.
But either way, the math doesn't add up, so something's got to be changed or different. And maybe it's just going to be different. I don't know. But either way, next week will be a lot of fun no matter what. It's going to be exciting. There's going to be a lot to talk about.
You know what? Some of these powers might actually do something. There might be a power that blocks a vote or skips the week or resets the week or something crazy like that.
I think they've got to at least get – I think 3 people's got to go. If they're going to say there's going to be a triple eviction and 3 people are going to be coming out of the house, 3 people have got to come out of the house. I don't think it's going to be like – just kidding,
oh yeah, there's definitely 3. No, there's definitely 3 people coming out on Thursday.
Yeah,
but some of these powers, when I see a Pandora's box where you open it and
I would love to see Pandora's box come back.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sick. You open it and then a curse gets put on the house, and guess what? There's a battle back.
I feel like 14 had the coolest thing where I think there was 2 or 3 Pandora's boxes. There was also the claw machine that had the extra veto in it. There was a lot of cool things in 14 that I think that they could do this season. Not maybe the exact same things, but do something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought some of those things were cool. Either way, this coming week should be a lot of fun. There should be a lot of things to talk about. If you got anything about tonight to talk about, we could talk about it, but I think we've pretty much wrapped it all up.
I'd like to say for the 19th time, my heart and mind is clear.
I think you missed it, actually, one episode, which is...
I've missed it 3 episodes.
They're 3. All right. Either way, we appreciate you guys for listening. If you guys are watching on YouTube and you like the podcast, leave a like. If you have any recommendations for us, leave it in the comments. And if you subscribe with the notifications on, you will know when we post and it goes up. So you don't have to worry about looking for it or finding out when it's going to go up. It'll just give you a notification on your phone. If you want to watch us record these live, we go live at twitch.tv/realityrundown after every single episode of Big Brother. That's all I got. I cut off really quick there. I don't know why. But...
I missed it those 3 times intentionally, by the way.
Oh, you got something planned?
Oh, yeah. Big season finale.
All right. We will see you guys Sunday night right after the episode. It should be a good one. Thank you, guys.
Peace.